Hello, hello, hello. I'm just going to make sure that I am live. And it looks like I am. Let me just confirm. After, okay, we're all good. All right. Hey, everyone. Today, I want to talk about being able to stand out in a crowd among all of the sea of videos that are on YouTube and that are on social media. And it all boils down to, let me take this off because it's making too much noise. Quality. Quality is key when it comes to creating videos for YouTube or for social media. So today I want to narrow down all of that into 3 strategies or things that I want you to think about and be cognizant of in terms of being able to ensure that you are creating as good a quality video as you possibly can. So let's get started. So first, for those of you who are pondering, okay, I know I've been hearing this thing about 4K and 2K and 8K. Do I need to create videos, whether they be for YouTube or for social media, that are 4K, 8K, 2K, what have you? If you want to and you have the capability of doing it, by all means. Just bear in mind that the higher the quality, the bigger the file of the video is. So that eats up a lot of space on your computer. And it, depending on your internet, can take a little bit longer to upload or download, depending on what you need to do. High definition is fine. And high definition is categorized in 2 areas, the 720 and the 1080. This video, for example, that I'm doing is in 720. Because I'm doing it live. I'm doing it directly to YouTube and to LinkedIn. But if I was pre-recording my video, I would opt for 1080. And if I needed to, I could go to the 2K or the 4K if that was my preference. But if you're just dealing with the fundamentals, 1080 is the preferred resolution if you are doing custom videos that you're going to be putting on YouTube or on social media. So what equipment can you use that will allow that to happen, but still stay within your budget? Number 1 is your smartphone. Almost all smartphones, I cannot speak for all Androids, but Androids tend to be ahead of the curve sometimes when it comes to the resolution on their cameras before iPhones, but definitely iPhones. And I would say all Androids, but definitely I know for a fact Samsung can provide really high definition quality videos. So you can use your smartphone. You can use an app within your smartphone, or you can just use your smartphone to record your videos. And then the other is your webcam. So I always recommend making sure that your webcam is HD compatible so it can give you up to at least 1080p that you can record in. There are some, I believe the Brio for Logitech allows you to do up to either 2K or 4K, but the 1080 is sufficient to get started so that you can create your videos. So I highly recommend just using what you already have, but making sure if you are going to invest, say, for example, into a webcam, you make sure that it's an external webcam and that that external webcam can record upwards of 1080p. If you come on live, definitely let me know you're here. And if you have any questions, whether you're here live or on the replay, please post them in the comments below. If I don't get to them on this live stream, because I do like to keep these between 15 and 20 minutes, I will respond to you. The next thing that you need to think about with regards to quality is what kind of lighting do you need to use? Some lighting is better than none. And natural lighting is certainly, obviously, something that you can use if you have access to it. Today in New York, it's partly cloudy. It's clear outside, but it's not particularly sunny. I do have a bank of windows that are in front of my desk in the office that I'm in. But because it's kind of a semi overcast day, I don't have all of the blinds up and I don't have a lot of flush of light or flood of light coming in. So I am using additional lighting. If you have a really well lit room where either it's from the outside or the room just happens to have just really good lighting, then that might be sufficient. But I would definitely just, put your camera on and take a look and see, do you look like you have a shadow over your face, or is it really hard to see you? As long as we can see you and we can hear you, that's the most important thing. So for me, I have a softbox light off to my left, and I have a ring light that's high above my desk and that's shining downwards, but it's also kind of trying to light this area as well. And then I have an office light that is on, and I have some lighting on the floor as well. So you want the lighting to just be able to show you clearly. That is the main thing for it. Anything else is ambient lighting that just makes your background look a little bit cooler. And we're going to get to the backgrounds in a minute. But as long as you can be seen, that is the most important thing. Also, when it comes to lighting, be cognizant of the space that you have and light based on that. Because if you are in a really, really tiny space, it's going to be kind of hard for you to be able to light it as well as you might want to light it, especially if you're going to be using floodlights or softbox lights and things of that nature. If you don't wear glasses, you can always just go with a ring light, have the camera mounted on that ring light and use that to light yourself. But because I wear glasses, I have to go the extra mile, if you will, in order to make sure that you're not seeing the rings in my glasses. Today was a little difficult for me to light because of the outside and because I initially was trying to stand to do my live stream today. And because I've now kind of organized my cables, it makes it really hard for me to be able to elevate the desk freely and still also position myself in a way that I'm lit properly. So I opted to go back to sitting, but the desk is just a little bit higher than normal. And then the next thing that you want to do, and this comes with lighting and just making sure that your camera is set up right, is that you want to compose yourself properly. So today, I just wanted to have this saying available, but as you can see over here, there is actually another, I'm going to try to move it slightly. So you can see I have another saying, and I'm going to move the camera up. So I would have to reposition myself, lower the desk a little bit, which I can do. I don't want to lower it too drastically. But you see that if I put this one in, this one gets cut off. So you want to make sure that you can compose yourself properly. And the way that I would have to do that is I would have to move my monitor with the camera that's mounted on top of it a little bit more to the center in order to get these both behind me. In a lot of older videos that I have on my channel, you can actually see I'm positioned perfectly in the middle, but then there are times where I'm like, you know what, I'll just go with one or the other. So you want to make sure that you're composed, not only if you have some sort of a saying in your background, but depending on what your background is. You want to definitely make sure that you are positioned where you don't have too much headroom above you. So the amount of headroom that I have is actually really, really good. It could be a little smaller or less than that, so I can reduce it a little bit more. And you want to make sure that, and this is more for editing purposes than anything else. If you're just doing a live stream, you don't have to worry too much about this, but definitely if you are doing a pre-recorded video for YouTube and you are going to be editing it and you want to have some movement in that video, especially if it's just a straight talking to the camera video, you want to be far enough away from the camera so that in post-production, when you're editing, you can come in closer. You can then come out if you want, so that there is a flow of movement and you have that pattern interrupt, if you will, so that we're not just staring at our face the entire time that you're speaking. So you definitely want to make sure that you have yourself positioned for that. Then the other thing, particularly again on pre-recorded videos, this one already has a lower third where you can see my name at the very bottom. A lot of lower thirds tend to be a little bit higher, and just to understand the thirds of a screen that you're looking at is cut into thirds. So this is the upper third, this is the middle third, and then this is the lower third. The lower third is typically where you would put in your information of your name, what you do, your company. If you have a ticker that's going across, which sometimes I do on these live streams, if you have information that you want to confirm or that you want to emphasize, you can put that usually in the lower third. And then closed captioning, the ADA compliant closed captioning will tend to appear in the lower third. So just in understanding what your thirds are. And just for compositions purposes, if you then put that into nines, you want to be in the middle three that go up and down. Ideally, that's what you want. But in some instances, you might want, that you're going to have something else that you want to have on the screen. So you may want to position yourself so that you have this space that you can then put in a graphic or some sort of a picture or something like that. So you just want to keep those things in mind when you are recording your content. Again, with regards to equipment, is your microphone. So you have your camera, your lighting, and then your microphone. If you are using your desktop situation, which is what I'm doing today, you want to have a USB microphone. Blue Yetis are really good. This one is Audio Technica AT2020, but any USB or most USB microphones are really, really good. You can have it mounted in a number of different ways. I have mine on a flexible arm that's clamped to my desk that allows me to move it wherever I need to move it. And it gives me a lot of flexibility. There are some that come on mic stands so that you can have it. Blue Yetis and Snowballs, I think, tend to come on a stand, but you can still also take it and put it onto something like this. But just make sure that you get an arm that is specific for the microphone that you are purchasing. So that's the only caveat that I would mention. I would also get some sort of a covering for your microphone, or you can get a guard that you can add to it just so that any of your, I forgot what the terminology is. Anybody that's good with the speech therapy, it's like sometimes your P's are too sharp. That kind of muffles it a little bit and makes it sound a little bit more clearer. But I would just recommend putting something or having something over your microphone. So that's it for equipment. So use what you have. You can use your smartphone. You can use your webcam. Make sure that you're using at least 720, if not 1020 resolution for your high definition videos. And then also make sure that you're in a well-lit environment or that you have access to good lighting. And if you have to purchase lighting, softbox lights if you wear glasses, ring lights if you do not. And then your microphone, if you are using your desktop setup, using a USB microphone is ideal. If you are using your smartphone, you can use a lavalier microphone, which looks something like this. It is a microphone that can pin to you, and it then plugs into your phone. Get one that has a really long cable so that you can stand back from your phone if you need to be further away. Or you can get the ones that are cordless and therefore they clip. They're really cool. They look like these little, like a matchbox. and they clip to your clothing, and they're Bluetooth. So that's actually going to be my next lavalier. This is an old one that I've had that I've been using for quite some time. All right, so let's now talk about editing really quickly. And we're not going to go into how to edit or anything like that. But editing lends itself really well to producing higher quality videos because it allows you to, if you are, whether you're doing this live or not, and you want to edit afterwards, it's fine. But if you're recording yourself and you tend to use a lot of filler words, like I use so, right, like, and those four for sure are high on my list for using. So I'm sure if I play this back, I will hear it a bajillion times. So if you want, see, I just did it. If you want to make sure that your videos are less with the filler words, even though to some degree having filler words is authentic to who you are. So I don't reduce all of them. I do eliminate some. More often than not, I don't reduce that many. But if that is something that bothers you, that is something that you might want to remove in editing. Or if you fumbled, let's say you were doing this, whether it be live or pre-recorded, and you made a couple of mistakes, you flubbed a line, and you just completely decided to change course, you don't necessarily have to stop and then start all over again. You can simply continue and then take that out in editing. There are a lot of AI editing tools that make that process so much easier for you. One of my most favorite ones is Descript. That actually helps you reduce and eliminate all of the filler words, but you can also highlight the text in the script of areas where if I started this video off wrong, like I think I started this video off saying that I wanted to check to make sure that I was recording on YouTube and on LinkedIn. If I don't want that in a future video, I can always put this video into Descript and remove that sentence and then start however it was that I started. So that's the way that editing can certainly lend itself to improving your quality, but it also can in terms of you don't want to have this static shot of you just talking. So you can add B-roll, which is supplemental footage that can convey your story a little bit more, or you can move it from just this static image to a closer shot of you and then back to a full shot. You can add text, you can add graphics so that that can emphasize your story a little bit more. So it's totally up to you in terms of what additional supplemental information you might want to put in to your video, but using tools like Descript, Wisecut is another one, Gling is another one, Capsule is another one. There are so many tools that are out there that can help you be able to make your video look a little bit more professional. Additionally, these tools can also enhance your visuals, color correct, add more lighting, and enhance your audio if necessary. So don't forget about your editing equipment. And then the last, which I said that I would talk about, is really going to be quickly, and that's about where you choose to film. So I, more often than not, 99.99999% of the time, I'm in my home office. So what I chose to do is for my home office, I wanted to set it up where I had at least one or two, if not more, possible locations how I could film. So for right now, I'm filming straight. This is the wall. The windows are in front of me. The door to this room is to my left. If I wanted, I can film this way, but then I can also turn myself this way, sort of this way, and film so that I have this side, which I'm going to try to move so that you can see. So this is another backdrop where I have a saying in the corner, and it's all my books and files and things of that nature. I usually make sure it's a little bit neater when I'm going to film, but I can always either do it catty cornered like this, or more often than not, I'll take my phone or my Logitech, and I'll position it on a tripod here, and I'll just straight shoot myself that way. I have a number of videos on my channel that have me filmed that way. Or I actually have a second webcam that I can use that will shoot me this way. And this is more for supplemental. It's not usually a primary because it shows I have on this side of my wall. And again, I don't think I can show you everything. No, I can't because the camera's going to come off. So we don't want that to happen. But this side, I have a lot of Post-its that are on the wall that I do. That's how I kind of brainstorm. So I have a number of different things that are on my walls that allow me to film from different locations. The key thing for where you're going to film is that you need to make sure that it is conducive for the audio that you're going to be recording. So you don't want to film in an empty room. That's just going to showcase the emptiness. It's going to be very, very echoey when you're filming. You don't want to film in an area that's extremely cluttered. And the primary reason for that is because people will be more distracted by that background of it being cluttered than of what you have to say and looking at you. You want to make sure that it is representative of whatever it is that you typically do and talk about. So what would work for me too, and I tend to have a lot of inspirational quotes on my walls. And so you would kind of maybe think I'm like a life coach or something like that. I'm a video coach. And those sayings and things that are on the wall actually lend itself well to the act of just doing it when it comes to video. And so I know that video is challenging for a lot of people. So that's why I have that quote. She believed she could, so she did, is about just having the belief that I can create videos. People are going to watch my videos, and therefore you do it. And then you can, end of story, is anybody that doubts the ability to actually create videos and start a YouTube channel, they can, period. Don't want to hear any more about it. So what could lend itself a little bit more is if I had a YouTube logo, like a pillow, although why would a pillow be on my desk? But definitely I have books that are there. Unfortunately, a lot of my books tend to be in Kindle form. So all of my YouTube, the people that I follow that I have YouTube books for are on my Kindle. So you can't see those, but you get the gist of, you want your environment of where you're filming to be representative of who you are as a person and as a representative of your niche and your target market. So you definitely want to do that. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, because we're at 22:46, is I want to talk about using virtual backgrounds. I'm personally not a huge fan of virtual backgrounds because more often than not, when you use them, you can see that halo effect every time the person moves. You can kind of see a little bit of the background that is being hidden. Some virtual backgrounds and tools and platforms that you use for virtual backgrounds are better than others. So if that is something that you have no other choice but to use because of the location of where you have to film, then by all means do that. But again, just make sure that the background that you choose is more in line with what you do. So if you can't find an office that looks like legit, then certainly use it as an option to brand your business. So you can use your brand colors, maybe some sort of imagery that's representative of your brand, and then put your information on there. That's totally a-okay with me if that's the only way that you can create an effective background. All right, so that's it. I truly do like to keep these at 20 minutes, but definitely not going over 25. And I'm at 24:09. So I'm going to wrap it up. If you have any questions, please, please, please let me know in the chat or in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you next month. Next month is a brand spanking new set of I think it's 4 weeks, because I don't know how many weeks are in February, but it's got to be 4. So Same time, same day. Well, today I came in early. I came in a day early because I'm jammed with appointments tomorrow. So that's why I came in early. But it's always Tuesday or Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and I'll see you next time. Take care.